Be me. 29th. HR rep at a giant distribution warehouse. Most of the workforce are guys who spend 10 hours a day hauling boxes. I like it here because the men don't get the last word. In this place, I do. They lift, I decide. If the men complain, I remind them I can write them up until they're gone. They hate it, but I love being the one they have to answer to. Recently been hearing people say, men are lonely these days. I don't buy it though. I bet every one of them here always has someone texting, waiting, or nagging. Especially the last one, since they always complain about women nagging. One evening, I'm near the end of a shift when the door buzzer goes off. My brother Evan shuffles in, still smelling like night shift. He works in parcel sorting. Same company, just different department. He does the graveyard grind no one else wants. Hoodie streaked with dust, hands cracked open from tape and cardboard. He asks if I've got a power drill, some anchors, a tape measure. Says he needs to hang blackout curtains in his tiny studio. Landlord won't do it. For the longest time, he's looked like a guy holding his life together with string, grocery bag with a sandwich, phone screen blank with no notifications. He used to be the funny one in the family, making me laugh so hard at dinner, Mom would threaten to kick us both from the table. Now he talks less, like every word costs him a shift. Still remembers my coffee order though, sometimes leaves one outside my office when he gets off early. Truth is, I've never seen him with a real friend here. No group pics, no weekend plans, no the guys. I always told myself it was by choice. Too many options, he was just picky. Like men could be alone only because they wanted better, not because they had no one. I smirk, tell him, have fun, bro. He gives me a half smile, quiet, like that's enough conversation. For a second, I almost ask if he's doing okay, but nah. He's a man, the last people on earth who should get to say, they're not fine. Half the world, us women, bends over backwards for them already. Speaking of men, my calendar ping drags my eyes back to the laptop. Reminder. Men's Wellness Week kickoff at 2 p.m. I roll my eyes and tell him I'll check in later. He taps the drill case, nods, leaves for the bus. Before turning down the hall, he asks over his shoulder, "You eating dinner tonight?" I wave him off. Yeah, don't worry about me." Boots squeaking down the hall, gone before I can even reopen my inbox. Back at my desk, I see the note from HR lead. Prepare slides for Men's Wellness Week. Focus on stress, coping, outreach. I groan out loud. Seriously? First time this company does something like this, and it's for men. We're the ones who need support programs, not them. But whatever. Paycheck says I have to do it. I spin in my chair, tapping the pen against my teeth. I've built plenty of decks before. Stress management for women, anti-harassment, work-life balance. Easy stuff. A mix of stock photos and bullet points about journaling and deep breathing. The bosses eat it up every time, like it's groundbreaking. Men's mental health? What a joke. I start Googling, expecting fluff about yoga, stretching, diet tips. But instead, I trip over the numbers. Suicide rates. Men 4 times more likely than women. I freeze, scroll back up like maybe I misread. But it's right there in black and white. 4 times. Most of them under 40, some younger than my brother Evan. My chest tightens before I even realize it. That can't be right. I click another site, then another. CDC, World Health Organization, some psychology journal. All the same graph, all the same ugly slope. Men dying, dropping off faster than women. Lines crossing where they shouldn't. I even copy the stat into my notes and reread it, like repetition might shrink the number. Images flicker through my head without asking. Dad falling asleep at the table when I was 12, coffee gone cold in his hand. Guys at the warehouse slumped over lunch trays, half their meal untouched. Evan with his cracked hands and dust-streaked hoodie. But no, not him. He's just tired from nights, that's all. He still brings me coffee, still remembers my order. Suicidal? Please, he's fine. I sit back, cross my arms, start inventing explanations in my head. Men are reckless, that's all. They drink too much, drive too fast, pick fights, climb scaffolding without harnesses. Of course they die more. I'm sure they counted a bulk of those as self-exit. It's not sadness, it's stupidity. And even if some of them feel lonely, isn't that their own fault? Women end up doing the dirty work every day just to keep things afloat. If men can't manage their feelings, maybe they shouldn't be trusted with them. I read it twice, 3 times, still the same. Men die without anyone noticing until they're gone. I sit there a minute, screen glow, cold on my face. Then I scoff under my breath. Figures. Men can't handle pressure, that's all? I click to the next tab, Already deciding I'll keep the slides light. A few bullet points about meditation, maybe a picture of a guy in a suit smiling with a salad. No need to overthink it. They wanted Men's Wellness Week. They'll get Canva clip art and recycled talking points. I even jot down the first title idea. Stay strong, stay productive. Because at the end of the day, that's all management really wants anyway. Next morning, I'm in the break room, pouring burnt coffee. A couple of the HR girls are scrolling their phones, laughing at memes. I sit down, still thinking about last night's stats. I say it like small talk. Saw something wild. Men are 4 times more likely to, check out. They snort immediately. Please, men lonely? They've got wives, girlfriends, hookups, apps. Yeah, half my DMs are guys begging for attention. Real isolated, huh? I shrug, push back once. But these were CDC numbers. Most under 40, some younger than my brother. They go quiet for a second, then one scoffs. That's not loneliness, it's recklessness. Booze, cars, fights. Classic male ego. I try again. What if it really is loneliness, though? They burst out laughing. Girl, don't go soft. You sound like a pick-me. I force a laugh, too, sip the bitter coffee. Tell myself they're right. Men aren't lonely, they're just dramatic. If they were desperate, we'd notice. That night, my phone buzzes. 10:30. It's Evan. I answer, already tired. First thing out of his mouth isn't about himself, it's, "You doing okay? You sound stressed last time we talked." I roll my eyes, even though he can't see it. Tell him I'm fine. Just swamped. He pauses, then asks if I want to grab dinner. Tell him I'm too busy. Busy fixing men at work. He laughs once. Short, unsure if it's a joke. Yeah, figures. Then silence. He says never mind. Hangs up before I can add a sorry. I stare at the dark phone screen a second longer than I want to, but shake it off. He's a grown man. He can handle a skipped meal LOL. Presentation day. I stand in front of 30 warehouse guys in safety vests, shoulders slumped from a night of lifting, projector hums, slides glowing in cheerful pastel colors. Men's Wellness Week in bold font. Subtitle I wrote, Healthy Habits, Happy Mind. I smile wide, my practiced HR voice cutting through the silence. Sometimes all it takes is setting aside 5 minutes a day for gratitude journaling. A few shift in their seats, eyes half closed from overtime. Or try making a vision board. Pictures of where you see yourself in 5 years can be powerful motivation. Blank stares meet me back. I click to the next slide. Stock photo of a guy in a polo shirt meditating on a beach. Mindfulness can reduce stress by up to 60%. Next time you're feeling overwhelmed, pause, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Someone in the back mutters something I don't catch. A couple heads bow like they're hiding smirks. I press on. Diet matters too. Trade fast food for a colorful salad. You'll be amazed at the difference. Image of a man grinning at a bowl of lettuce fills the screen. Chairs creak. One guy rubs his forehead like he'd rather be anywhere else. Then a hand rises, voice rough, cracked. What if you go home and nobody would notice if you didn't come back? The room goes still, every eye locked on me. My throat tightens. No slides for this one. I force a smile, choke out, well, that's why prevention matters, right? Click to the next bullet before he can speak again. Eyes follow me, hollow, like they're waiting for something I'll never give. I wrap up with my closer. Remember, balance is key. Your health is your strength, and strong minds build strong teams. No applause. The air feels heavier than when I started. I think it went well, but feels like something is off for some reason. Weird. Afternoon buzz on my phone. Evan. Want to grab dinner? Feels like forever since we ate together. I sigh. Second invite this week. Text back. Nah. Meeting the girls later. Plus I've got leftovers. He types, deletes, then finally, yeah. Just didn't want to sit at the counter by myself again. I stare at it a second, then send, you'll be fine. Next time. His reply comes quick. Thumbs up, and that's it. Back in my office later. Inbox is flooded. Subject lines glowing. Great kickoff. Excellent delivery today. Strong messaging. Management practically throwing confetti over my slideshow. I lean back in my chair, smirk to myself. Didn't even try that hard. Next week. Monday morning. I'm half asleep at my desk, eyes glazed on the flood of attendance flags. One jumps out. Employee? Evan Carter. Consecutive no-shows, 3 days. My stomach dips, but I brush it off quick. Graveyard guys skip all the time. Shifts eat them alive. I click pending follow-up, move on to the next file. Tell myself it doesn't matter. He's probably just sleeping it off. Wednesday it's back, read this time. Supervisor note attached. Tried calling, no answer. Address check requested. I exhale sharp, annoyed. HR paperwork means I'll have to log it, maybe drive down myself. He could have at least texted me if he was blowing off shifts. I grab my jacket, mutter, I'll handle it, and drive over. Street's too quiet for mid-morning. His building looks the same, paint peeling, blinds drawn tight. I knock. Wait. Nothing. Knock again. Harder. Silence. Chest tightens, phone slick in my hand. I call the landlord, who shows up 10 minutes later with the super trailing behind. Keys jangle. Door opens. First thing I notice, blackout curtains still sealed in their package, drill unopened on the counter. Second, his phone lying face up on the table, a dozen missed calls stacked on the lock screen. Third, the air, heavy, unmoving, like the place itself gave up. We step inside, sink full of dishes crusted over, sandwich wrappers piled by the trash, coffee cups lined like soldiers on the counter, each one emptied and abandoned. Laundry basket half folded, shirts stacked but never put away. A list on the fridge in his messy handwriting. Buy anchors / call dentist / try meetup / text SS. That last one circled twice, pen marks carved into the paper. The super coughs, eyes low. We move toward the back room. And there he is, still, quiet, like he just lay down after shift and never got back up. On the floor near the bed, an orange pill bottle tipped over, tablets scattered across the carpet, some crushed under his heel, label peeled, dosage unreadable, like he didn't care what it was anymore, just wanted it gone. My legs lock, I can't cross the doorway, just stand there, eyes darting everywhere but him. A snapped drill bit on the floor, like he'd tried and given up halfway. A bottle of cologne unopened on the dresser. A folded flyer on his desk. Community board game night. $5 entry. Creases worn into it, like he'd picked it up, pocketed it, maybe thought about going, but didn't. It hits me I've never heard a single name from him that wasn't work. No best friend, no old teammate, no girl he was seeing. I thought it was because he had standards, too many choices, playing it selective. His phone sits on the desk, screen awake. No lock, cheap cracked Android he never bothered to secure. In the search bar, how to make friends after 30. Another. Is it weird for men to eat alone? Unsent draft. You free for dinner? Cursor blinking like it's waiting for me to give him a name. My throat closes, but no tears come. I tell myself it doesn't mean what it looks like. Men don't just give up like that. Must have been exhaustion, stress, anything else. I try to file it away in my head like HR paperwork. Tragic? Yes, but procedural tragic, not personal. The landlord mutters, voice low. Poor kid never had anyone, did he? I clench my jaw, force myself blank, don't answer. There's no way I could have stopped it, right? My voice cracks, so I cough to cover it. Tell myself it was bigger than me, not something I could have stopped. The funeral's small, quiet. A rented chapel room with beige walls and folding chairs that squeak when people sit. Coffee in paper cups on a side table, cookies no one touches. Most of the crowd are warehouse guys, shirts wrinkled, boots scuffed, but cleaned just enough. They sit stiff, hats in their laps, eyes on the floor. One by one they drift up to me, awkward, like they're clocking in. His supervisor says, "Never missed a shift, always stayed late if we asked." A neighbor mumbles, "He fed my cat once when I was away." I offered him cake after, but he said, "Nah." Polite kid though, another guy from the floor. He'd cover swaps, no complaints. Don't meet many like that. The pattern sinks in, every story the same. He did the right thing, always, but no one really knew him. Just the outline of a man who showed up, worked, went home. I force myself near the front, arms crossed tight, pretending to hold together. I can't look at the framed photo on the table. It's him years ago. Backyard barbecue, sun in his eyes, holding a soda can, like it was a joke. The version of him I'd been pretending still existed. A grey-haired co-worker lingers beside me, clears his throat. "You know, most men go their whole lives without anyone hugging them," he says softly. "Unless it's their mum when they're little. Sometimes not even then. Guy could die and the last hug he had was decades ago." The words knock the air out of me. I try to laugh it off, ask if that's really true. He just shrugs. "Depends if someone notices before the casket closes." Then he pats my shoulder once, like punctuation, and walks off. The room empties slow, men filing out, boots dragging, hands shoved in pockets. No speeches, no wailing, just silence thick enough to choke on. Like grief isn't something they know how to share, only carry. I stay behind, staring at the photo, the folding chairs, the half-empty coffee cups, the weight of every invite I brushed off pressing harder now. Late dinners, coffee runs, just didn't want to sit at the counter by myself again. All the little chances he gave me that I treated like nothing, because I thought men weren't supposed to need anyone. My phone buzzes in my pocket. HR email, subject line, attendance policy updates. I almost laugh. Like his whole life was just another flag in the system waiting for me to click resolve. But there's no drop down for this. No file to close, just the silence he left behind. 2 weeks after the funeral, I'm back in my office, inbox stacked, coffee cold. A knock at the doorframe makes me look up. It's one of the floor guys I'd written up last month for attendance. Hands jammed in his hoodie pocket, eyes fixed on the carpet. He clears his throat, mumbles, just wanted to say thanks for that wellness thing you did. I blink, caught off guard, his voice barely above a whisper, like he's embarrassed to say it out loud. I paste on my HR smile. Of course. That's what the program's for. He nods too quick, mutters, yeah, then shuffles off, boots dragging like he regrets even opening his mouth. Silence fills the doorway after he's gone. I lean back, exhale through my nose. Men really are desperate for someone to notice them, and all I gave them was Canva clip art and salad stock photos. Funny how even scraps look like a meal when you're starving. Later that day, 2 guys stand by the vending machine, voices low, shoulders sagging, like the machine itself is holding them up. One says, Travis missed again. 3rd time this month. The other shakes his head. Ever since his girl left, man just goes home to nothing. Empty place, beer, and a chair. They fall quiet after that, like the words weigh too much to carry further. I stir my coffee louder than I need to, pretending not to listen, but the words stick anyway. Empty place. Hollow. I remember how every call with Evan started with "You good?" and how I always snapped back, "I'm fine, focus on yourself." Like his concern was just another chore I didn't have time for. The stat flickers in my head again. 4 times more likely. I swallow it down, sip the burnt coffee, tell myself it's just gossip. When people ask about Evan, I say the right things. How proud I was he worked so hard. How I even ran the company's first men's wellness week while he was alive. Like I'd done my part. Like that was enough. I don't mention the missed dinners, the unanswered calls. I don't mention, "You'll be fine." I just say I tried. And most days, I almost believe it.